Hello Aries, welcome to your bonus reading here on Dove and Serpent Tarot. If you're watching this reading was meant to find you. Please hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel especially if this reading resonates with you. Now this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Aries, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And look at that, we start off with your superpower card. We've got to ring the bell. This is the card that rules the sign of Aries. This is the Emperor. Okay? You are kind of like, you're approaching your true self in a very real and authentic way. You know, I think you are very much in charge of your life. You're somebody with very strong leadership qualities. It's kind of like right now you're exhibiting all the best qualities of the Aries zodiac sign. You know, you are disciplined. You are maybe a little bit more serious in life than you usually are. You know, very focused, very determined, a lot of ambition, right? A lot of authority, a lot of these very good leadership qualities, right? Which means that you also have to remember to be compassionate and thoughtful and considerate, right? Very, very good energy right now, okay? This is your kind of true self energy. We need to put this card into some context because it could mean a lot of things. This is some very strong, assertive energy that could be very appropriate in certain areas of life, but could be quite inappropriate in other areas of life, right? So let's see what's going on here with this very sign. This is your superpower card. This is a great way to begin a reading, right? I have high hopes for this one. Let's see what card's coming next. Oh, now we've got that fire to earth combination. We have a Princess of Pentacles. We have a Queen of Swords, a Four of Cups behind you, a 10 of Pentacles above you. Yes, that's very, very good. And that's amazing. Aries is the cardinal fire. This is the card of Leo. This is the fixed fire energy. This is the lust or strength card, right? This is good. I see what's going on here. And I like this very, very much. If there is, Aries, anything that you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know in the comments. Okay. Let's finish up the path of the Serpent. Here we have an Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands has been sort of a common card for you lately. It feels like it anyway. I feel like we've got that card multiple times. Here's the Knight of Pentacles, a Four of Swords, Four of Cups, Four of Swords. Okay. And the Nine of Wands, more strong, fiery energy. This is a very critical time for you. I'm going to go ahead and say that the next 2 weeks are going to be very, very critical for you. This is your chance. I think that you're discovering something that really lights you up. Okay, I think that you're going to be involved in something, and it is this Princess of Pentacles energy, which may at first feel like it's not nothing, right? Doesn't look like much. There is a whole life that's building up underneath the surface of this. This is something that you may see and be like, well, that's not very extravagant. That's not very, marvelous looking. But there is tremendous potential here. This is something that is going to light you up. It's going to bring about this passion and this charisma, this creativity, the enthusiasm that we see with the Lust or Strength card. But first, let's select our mystery card. This is our bonus card, confirmation card. It's a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. It's the factor infinite and unknown. It's going to go right down over here. It's not, no, Mr. Dow, you've got to get to the end of the line here. It is time for Jimbo, the Lizard King, a.k.a. Mr. Lizard, to be the guardian of the mystery card. So we'll have to scooch everybody up. Okay, we're not going to look at that card until the end. It will tie everything together and give us our confirmation. All right. If you have a prediction for the card, put it in the comments down below. All right. Now, let's take a look around the room here, because what we have is two major arcana, right? Emperor to Lust or Strength card. And this really is about finding the right environment for you, finding the right project, finding the right maybe relationship, finding the right situation, finding the right thing, the right whatever it is, right? That's going to light you up. That's going to arouse your ambition and your passion and your love and your enthusiasm and your creativity. And the Emperor is finding that. And I think what it is really is the situation that you are discovering or that you're getting involved with, or the person you're meeting, or whatever it might be, right? It might be a younger earth sign person, too, that's involved in your life some way. And maybe not, well, younger, maybe about the same age. But I feel like this is a situation where it brings out the best qualities of you. This is a situation that is going to demand the very best from you. Okay. Now, we've got our two majors. We have fire and fire. We've got a little bit of water back here. Not that much, right? We've got air energy, and then we've got earth, and earth energies. Okay, so we're going to go through these cards and see if we can get a more vivid picture of what's happening in your life right now. And again, I think the next 2 weeks, it's critical that we recognize this opportunity and that we take advantage. Because again, this is something that may not look like much, right? It may seem, well, this could be like, let's say a fixer-upper, right? It could be that car, that house that's just like, I don't want to get involved with that because it's a lot of work. And doesn't look that great now, But applying your Emperor energy to this, right? It's a situation that's going to require that you are the leader, that you are ambitious, that you are disciplined and focused, right? It's going to require all of these wonderful Aries qualities. Yeah. And more than that, it's not just going to be work for the sake of work, right? It's going to lead to a sustained enthusiasm. This is something that you're going to develop a real passion for. Now, the idea, I think, is that you may not feel that passion upon first glance, right? And we know first impressions are everything, right? But sometimes we have to sort of look past the first impression, because the first impression, see the Princess of Pentacles, okay, what do you think? Well, barren, sterile, maybe it's winter, there's no life, there's no flowers, there's no leaves on the trees, right? There's nothing green at all here, right? There's no abundance. Everything is under the surface here. And it's through your leadership and your Aries energy, this strength and discipline and focus and power and your authority, that you are going to bring out the very best qualities of this Princess of Pentacles, just as it is going to require your very best qualities in order to build this thing up into the abundance that it really has within it. This is a infinite potential here for abundance, for love, for joy, perhaps for a financial stability as well. Okay, we have a very good earth energy here today. And I guess we should start at the bottom, but I want to go back here to the Four of Cups because I feel like it's an appropriate time to talk about this. For a while in your life, you haven't been feeling all of that enthusiasm. You haven't been feeling that vitality. I feel like this is a card, lately you've been not feeling like your boat is sinking, but not feeling like your boat is really sailing into its best life either, right? This is kind of a card that just says life's been a little bland, perhaps, okay? that the things that you've been engaged with haven't been fiery. They haven't been lighting you up. You haven't been getting that enthusiasm. You haven't felt the passion. You haven't felt hungry and really involved in what you're doing. You haven't had that hell yes feeling about stuff. You know? It's been, yeah, okay. Or, no, not today. Right? It hasn't had that fire. Yeah. And I think we all go through periods of time like this where we're just not fired up about anything, right? And maybe we've lost a little motivation in what we've been doing. Maybe life's been a little bit more routine than we would prefer. Maybe this is a feeling of, I need something, but I don't know what. I want something, I don't know what. It's like we're hungry. You know, we have this problem a lot. We're hungry. I want something, but I don't know what I want. Nothing sounds good. How many times do we say that, right? Nothing sounds good. Nothing is really exciting you in that way, okay? Until now. And this is a very important contrast between the Four of Cups and our lust or strength card, because this is the total absence of that passion, of that lust, of that enthusiasm. And this is, of course, the full enthusiasm that says, I want to do this thing. I want to be involved in this Princess of Pentacles world, project, or relationship, whatever it is. Forever. I could do this for the rest of my life. This feels so good. I'm so excited to wake up in the morning and get to it, right? But to begin, we have to initiate this, and sometimes it's the getting started that's the problem. Okay, sometimes it is just initiating the activity. But you've got this cardinal fire. You are this Aries energy. You're going to initiate this, and it may not look like it's that great to begin with, but there's potential there, and you can kind of see. It's kind of like you're looking at this, and the more you look at it, you start to see dollar signs, you know. Down beneath the surface, Queen of Swords. This is an energy that is sort of looking at the past, the present, and the future, all in one bird's eye view. Really is getting above everything and really looking at it. And I think what you're able to see in this bird's eye view, if you take the bird's eye view, you rise above everything, you're kind of seeing that 10 of Pentacles. You're kind of thinking, well, hey, this has a lot of potential. Not just in terms of the dollar signs, right? But in terms of your personal experience with it. It's something that you are going to feel almost compelled to invest in. Time, money, energy. Those are our investments. Those are our resources, right? That we have, that we want to invest. And I think looking at the past is one of the primary functions of the queens of the tarot. Any of the queens are looking at the past. So what is in your past that is relevant to you right now in this context? Well, I think what's relevant in your past is the activities, the projects, the people that you've invested in, time, money, energy, okay, that maybe have paid off in certain ways. You know, there's been a return on the investment perhaps, right? But you're looking at those occasions where you've invested yourself in something, didn't really feel all that great about it. It didn't give you that, heck yeah, I don't mean to use HE double hockey sticks, but it didn't give you that passionate yes, you know, absolutely, no question about it, I want to do this. It was just kind of, yeah, I mean, it makes sense. It's going to be a good investment, and maybe it was a financial investment or an investment of time and energy. So we're looking at the past and we're remembering all those times that we said yes to something that didn't light us up. It may have had other benefits, sure, but we didn't feel super duper passionate about it. Okay? And so I think that this is, it's not so much looking at the past and thinking, okay, I should have said no to all of those things. Not necessarily that. But we're remembering how many times we said yes when we really didn't feel it that much. And so that gives us some criteria about what to say yes to right now, okay? But we want to say yes to this thing right now, but what if we're looking at it and we can't really see how great it is? We don't see anything that is visibly appealing to us. You know what I mean? We're looking at something and we think, well, it might take a lot of work, but who knows if it's going to really pay off, you know? Well, maybe we're judging this from a different perspective now. Maybe we're thinking, I don't know how this is really going to work out, but I think I can see myself really enjoying this, really doing this, right? And maybe it does really make you want to say, heck yes, let's get involved. Okay. Even if we have to do a little bit of, future projection sort of thing to see how it's going to play out. All right. Let's look at the Ten of Pentacles at the top here. Ten of Pentacles is your best life. And so when we're considering whether to say, heck yes, I'm in, let's get started, absolutely yes to something like this. Now, I want to point out this is fire and earth. This is a divine act of creation. Fire to earth is that spiritual electrical circuit of creation. From heaven to earth, from above to below, from fire to earth, from will to action, impulse to behavior, inspiration to implementation. It's that electrical circuit. What usually gets in the way of that instantaneous process of creation or manifestation is our human heart and mind, right? And we see some heart and some mind stuff in a couple of places here, okay? And so the Ten of Pentacles then is usually wealth, right? We usually think, well, that's a big jackpot. That's a huge win. That's a lot of money, right? Well, of course I want to do this thing if it has a lot of money. If it has a large financial return, sure, yeah, of course I want to do it. But then there's the alternative that we're not doing it necessarily for the money, that we're sort of judging it on some other criteria, and I think it really is the passion. Am I going to get fired up about this? Can I see myself doing this for a long time? Is it going to feel good? Is it going to be exciting? Am I going to have enthusiasm and passion? Is it going to fire me up? Am I going to get to be creative, right? Those things, I think, mean more to you than just the dollars and cents. The dollars and cents is sort of up here as the, as the guiding principle. It's kind of, this is the divine light that's shining down on everything. Maybe the Queen of Swords is saying, look, I've pursued financial investment opportunities before, and they've worked, but I haven't felt that passion. So maybe now we're saying, okay, maybe I should start looking for those same sort of financial investments, or whatever they might be, right? Investments of time, money, or energy, and use this as the sort of qualifying factor. Right? So we take a whole list full of good investments, and then we pick out those couple that have this factor, this passion factor, right? And then, of course, our Ten of Pentacles, we start to see the real meaning of it. It's not just finance. It's not just having a bag of money, right? It's not just being rich with money. In fact, the financial component is just one little coin down there at the bottom. What are the rest of these coins? Well, that's something you have to answer. What is your best life? What has meaning to you? What does wealth really mean to you? It may mean financial returns. Yes, of course, we need that. And we recognize that we need stable finances. We want to grow our bank accounts, right? Because that gives us the means to do a lot of other things. To help out the world, to give back, to be generous, to travel, to explore other things, right? To help people, to support our family, friends, and this sort of thing. But if you're not feeling any of those other aspects of this, the deepest satisfaction, that joy, that passion and enthusiasm, the creativity, right? What does wealth mean to you? What would a rich, wealthy life look like? What would your best life look like? Draw that picture. Paint that picture. Write that story. Write it down. Draw it. I always say, get out a sheet of paper, get out a pencil, write it down. And it doesn't have to be final. I say get out a pencil because we can change it. We can edit it. We can add to it. We can get more sheets of paper and draw more because, see, the 10 of Pentacles is not just a 10. It is unlimited. This is just the tarot's way of saying an infinite number of pentacles. An infinite number of coins, right? We're just on a base 10, right? It could be a base 2, 1, 2, and then a lot. This is 8, 9, 10, and then a whole bunch more. There's no limit here. Like I tell my daughter, if you can count to 10, you can count to 1,000,000. It doesn't matter. It may take you a while, but you can do it. Yeah. So why not do something that's going to have this enthusiasm here? That's going to have this creativity. Now this lust card is very, very fiery, and it is a fixed fire energy. It's a Leo energy. Okay. And it is sustained. It is not just the initial. See, we think of a card like this or a combination like this, we think, as soon as I see it, I'm going to fall in love with it, and that's going to be exciting, and that's going to be it. But then that cardinal fire energy fizzles out. It fizzles away. We see that with the 8 of Wands over here on the path of the Serpent. We don't want it to fizzle out because we're going to be in here for the long haul because we're creating an infinite number of pentacles and cups. I'm hoping cups, maybe mystery card. I'll have to talk to Jimbo. We're creating an infinite number of this, so we don't want it to fizzle out after a little while. Something looks very good, seems very good on the surface. It's not really always necessarily going to sustain your interest for a long time, you know. But what we have with the lust card, a strength card, is an enduring enthusiasm. This is an attention. This is a love and a lust and a passion that does not wane. It does not fizzle out after a little while. This is the constancy, the perseverance, the endurance that you need. And it is finding something that is going to light you up and keep you fired up, not just for a couple days, a couple weeks, a couple years, but indefinitely. Okay? And so that's where we have to look at this situation and not judge the book by its cover, because this looks like a barren, sterile landscape. There is verdant energy ready to break forth here. Right? This is that investment of time and money and energy that is really going to allow you to indefinitely sustain your interest and indefinitely grow your best life. Okay? And now we've got to talk about the path of the Serpent. As we do this, I'm going to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. It's totally free to subscribe. Helps the channel. I appreciate that. All right. General energy, the 8 of Wands, right? Too many things taking your attention in too many directions. None of them really light you up in this way where it's just kind of, you forget about the others and you're just like, this is where my passion is taking me, right? So you're somebody that likes to have a lot of irons in the fire. And we've seen that in a lot of past readings for you. You like to be busy. And I think your life is usually very, very busy, right? I think you have a lot of investments of time and money and energy, right? And these don't have to be like you're investing in stocks or you're a venture capitalist or you're, these are just like commitments. These are just, investments that you've agreed to, whether they're relationships, family stuff, work stuff, extracurricular stuff, or if it's business things or whatever it is. Different activities, hobbies, avocations, different investments that you make. And it's almost like we've sacrificed quality just for the quantity. Okay? But you're feeling that. You're feeling that with the 4 of Cups. You're feeling like, okay, I've got all this stuff to do. I'm a very busy person, but am I enjoying any of it really, truly? I think, yeah, you are. I don't think you're not enjoying it. But I don't think any one of those has yet had this kind of thing where it's just like, forget about all the others. And I just want you, Whether it's that business or that artistic path, whether it is a relationship maybe, right? It's a relationship with something, whether it's a person, a place, a thing, an idea, right? Or if it is, I mean, it could be a car or a house, right? It could be a business. It could be, it could be anything, literally, right? But our Eight of Wands here is the enthusiasm usually fizzles out over time, relatively quickly, right? This is a card that talks about the swiftness of things. It talks about the flash in the pan. Okay? This is not a flash in the pan. This is going to take work. This is going to take your very best qualities. It's going to lead to long-term satisfaction, and it's going to keep you interested for a long, long time. Okay? In order to sort of acknowledge that or be aware of that or to have that perception, we need our court cards here, the past and the future. The queens are looking at the past and realizing, wow, okay, I've been doing things because, well, they've made sense, but they didn't really make magic, right? They didn't really make my heart skip a beat, you know? And then, of course, the Knight of Pentacles in your environment, in the position of your relationships now, looking long term. And I seem to remember this exact card in one of your last readings. I think it was your special update. Looking at all of our relationships and seeing what their long-term viability really is. Is this something that, do I really care how this ends? Do I really care to see this through all the way to the end? What is the end of this? Is this something that's just going to be an investment for a day, a week, a month, 10 years? And how does that feel? When you think about each relationship, let's think about your job, right? This is an investment of time and energy, probably money too. This job that we have, we think about it 10 years. How does that make you feel? Scared, frightened, you want to run? Or do you think, yeah, I love my job. 10 years, I hope I can do it for 100 years. I love it, you know? Well, good. That's a keeper. Okay. We have to look at all of our relationships this way and think of the long-term viability. Can you sustain your efforts in this for the long term? But also in this new one, in this new thing that's coming your way. Okay. And again, I think next couple weeks, very critical that we recognize this, we find this, we take advantage of this. And when we see something that, well, maybe that could be it, we then have to invoke our Knight of Pentacles and we have to look into the future. How would this play out over 10 years? Well, yeah, it'd be a lot of hard work, it'd be some bumps in the road, but I think I would love it. I think this is going to really fire me up. It may not look like much now, but how do you see it growing, right? What does the end result look like for you? The Knight of Pentacles is always looking at the Ten of Pentacles and beyond. But the Ten of Pentacles is a good place to start, you know. So the Knight is looking at the 10 and thinking, yeah, this actually, I can see this being financially profitable, but more than that, I can see that it's going to be fun to do this. It's going to take me different places, introduce me to different people. Yeah, I really think that this is going to fire me up, that I'll stay interested in this for the long term. This might be the one, right? Now, of course, we've got our Four of Swords in the position of what we don't want. Because I think very often we have said that. Very often we have gone to something and said, wow, yeah, this is it. This is the one. I'm going to be in this situation. I want to study this subject or take this track of education. I want to do this for the rest of my life. And then, of course, in a few weeks or months or maybe even years, we say, I don't like it anymore. You know, I don't want to do it anymore. So the Four of Swords then becomes some very honest self sort of perception. We have to really acknowledge our tendencies here. That sometimes we do take on things that in the moment seem perfect. But then as time goes on, we start to sort of see how it's going to play out. We see it start to unfold, and we think, I don't like it. I made a mistake, right? So that's why we're not judging the book on the cover. We're not saying, oh yes, I love this. I want to read this book from start to finish. I don't care how long it takes me. Maybe it's a 1,000-page novel. I'm going to read the whole thing. But once we get a few pages into it, we realize, God, this is just dense and boring, and I don't like it, right? So we have to, we have to be able to extrapolate and think, okay, I like the cover or I don't like the cover, but let me think about the content. And let me think about how long it's going to take, and what are the rewards going to be? And is this something that I'm willing to focus on completely to the exclusion of some other things? Okay. So the difficult thing, I believe, for you is to make that decision. To say, yes, this is something that has potential not only for some unlimited financial returns, but for a deeper meaning and satisfaction and joy. This really seems to have everything I want. Okay? Not just one pentacle or another, but has the pentacles in the truest sense, the deepest sense of those pentacles, right? And then the Four of Swords becomes acquiescence. Then it becomes a almost a disengagement, where the mind then says, okay, I don't need to stress out about it. I don't need to keep looking. I found it. And this takes away a lot of our trouble in life, right? When we make a decision and we commit to it because we've done the math, we've felt it through, we've looked at the future, right? We've done everything that we could. And now it's just a matter of saying yes to it, saying heck yes to it. And then the mind can go take a nap, right? Then the mind doesn't have to worry about it anymore. We don't have to worry about, every day trying to make all these little decisions about what things we're going to do, what we're going to invest in, and all this stuff. It's just, it makes it easier, right? And so we've found that thing that that takes away a lot of the overwhelm, right? Of having sort of infinite choices, right? Of having so much on our plate, of having so many irons in the fire. And to manage all these, it's stressful to think about all that. Let's find this one thing. Let's find this Princess of Pentacles. And I don't know if this is going to be that house that's free. And it doesn't mean that you have to then get rid of everything else in your life. I don't believe it's one of those kinds of things. But this is something that you will find that I think will, just of its very own nature, kind of squeeze out some less important things from your life. Because this is so meaningful and so important to you. And this is going to bring so much joy. It's going to take up a lot of your time. It's going to be a big investment for you. But it's going to be one that really brings this satisfaction, which, as we see with our Four of Cups, you've been missing. You've been needing something to fire you up. This lust card is at the very center of our tarot table today. You deserve to get fired up about something. You deserve something that's going to bring out your very best qualities of leadership, of discipline and focus, right? This is something that you're going to be in charge of, right? Maybe this is, you're going into business for yourself here. Okay? Because you've had jobs, you've had careers, you've worked for other people, and it hasn't really been all that fulfilling. Four of Cups, again, it's not bad. Four of Cups is good. We like the Four of Cups. But it's not great. It's okay. It's not wow. And of course, our Nine of Wands here at the end, strength. The strength to endure, right? The commitment, the resolve, it's this absolute heck yes, absolutely, that gives you backbone. And you know what I mean? That there is no There is no demotivating yourself here. And yes, there will be obstacles, but this is the strength that just sort of approaches the obstacles one by one, does what it needs to do, keeps on going, doesn't even really suffer a scratch from these obstacles in theory, right? I mean, it's interesting when we look at the Nine of Wands in one of the other tarot packs, like the Pamela Coleman Smith. It shows somebody very scratched up, very bruised and battered, right? Those are just flesh wounds, right? The core of you, your resolve is unshaken. Your spirit is unscathed, unscarred. Our bodies are going to go through it. Our heart and mind are going to be a little bit twisted up over things. But in your core being, there's no question. The thought doesn't even enter your mind that you're going to quit. Okay? Your spirit is unshaken through all of the challenges and things. That's real strength. Okay? That's real strength. So I feel that especially with the fours, both of these, every time we see a 4, I start looking around for the 5. I start thinking, okay, something's going to change really fast for you. Okay, something is really about to give way to something else. So I think this is a really huge win for you when you find out, when you have this this awareness and this perception of what this opportunity is. And it might be an impulse. It might not be something obvious. It might be just that moment where we say, I want to go in business for myself. I've got that idea. I'm going to start my own company, or I'm going to start doing my own independent work, or I'm going to move, or I want to buy that house, or, I'm going to do X, Y, Z, whatever it might be, right? Let's look at our mystery card. Yeah. Of course, I want to see some 10 of Cups here. I want to see some really good water energy to go with our really good earth energy. We're done with the 4 of Cups. This is yesterday's news. This is lackluster, okay? It might be luxury, which is the name of the card. Every card has sort of a key word. It's the Lord of Luxury. And it's luxury because we've gotten comfortable here, right? That whatever investments we're making, right? Time, money, and energy. It's gotten comfortable. It hasn't really been challenging. It's like we can just relax on the couch and let it happen, Hasn't really given you that fire. Hasn't really brought out your very best self, your very best qualities. Hasn't challenged you, hasn't pushed you. It's just been kind of luxurious. Man, we like that, but not forever, right? So a 4 needs to become a 5. So either the mystery card will be, I think maybe it'll be a 5 of Cups, to be honest with you. Maybe it'll be a 5 of any suit, but I'm thinking water energy here too. If you have a prediction, put it down in the comments. Let's see. Oh, it's the Sun. Oh, the Sun's good. Because the Sun is that sort of full enlightenment. I think the Sun is really you're really on fire now, right? This is you just sort of radiant with this energy. This is joy, this is pride. This is also wealth and success, just as the 10 of Pentacles is. But this is the wealth and the success and the pride of knowing that you're living your best life, that you are following your destiny, that you have found your path, you're doing what is meant for you. And I think that we also have to look at this card as sort of traveling through time and space. And because this card is not a static energy. This is a moment of pride, and this is a feeling, It's a state of being, it's a radiance, but it's also you being your true self on your path, orbiting the galactic center, right? So if the Sun, I think that's what the Sun does, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the Sun has its own path through the galaxy. And I think that what it's doing with all the other stars, I guess, is it's sort of circling that galactic center. And our galactic center, of course, is our lust or strength card. So this is saying that your sort of world, your whole destiny is centered around finding those opportunities. And this isn't the last one, right? Finding those opportunities where you can fire up your creativity, where you can be your true self, and you can have this passion and enthusiasm. You're filled with the Holy Spirit with this card, right? You're enthused. Okay? And so this really seems to be the center of the galaxy. This is what everything else revolves around. Finding these opportunities to unleash your truest self, your truest nature, to be you fully, right? And I know this is that Leo energy, and that we've got our Aries energy here, right? So really we take them in combination because they're two major arcana energies. And it is the sun that is recognizing that this is the kind of life we want. And I think that you find the most pleasure and passion when you are involved in something. This is that something. When you're involved in something that requires you to be your very best self. You like a challenge. You like to be the leader. You want something that's going to sort of motivate you, push you, and encourage you to become your best self. Yeah. And you're finding that. All right. Now, we're going to find the extended reading. If you want to stick around for that, there's a link in the corner. There's a link down below. New readings for Aries, Mondays and Fridays. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. It is totally free, doesn't cost anything. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.